Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Fintocks. I am Devansh, your host for today, and joining me for this one is Karan.
Hey guys.
So, after the previous intro episode, we were thinking for quite a while amongst ourselves about all the different things we could talk about on this podcast. And we thought to ourselves, why not start with a little series of episodes on the one thing we already want to be, and that's being rich, of course. So, the title of season one is If You Want to Be Rich. We'll be taking a look at all the different aspects of becoming rich. Your journey to becoming rich is right here. So, and we'll be
Yeah,
discussing
to
not
just
just monetary
start
terms, but
treating ourselves,
also
right?
on a more, yeah, exactly. So, we'll be discussing not just monetary terms, but also on a more practical and personal level. So, I'd like you all to think for a second when I say the words, if you want to be rich, what are the first words that come to your mind?
Should I tell mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's not a word, it's like a whole thought. Okay, I run on thoughts. So I'm thinking becoming rich is not going to be an overnight success. I'm also thinking that it is a process, a journey, as you just said. And the question that one should ask is, where should I start and how should I start? So for all those intelligent peeps जिसके दिमाग में ये क्वेश्चन आया, at FinTalk we believe investing is more about psychology than anything else. So following that very mindset, our first episode is about thinking like the rich. तो होता क्या है कि मनी इज वेटिंग टू बी मेड, लाइक मनी बनना चाहता है तुम लोगों से, बट यू मस्ट हैव नोटिस दैट the rich, the percentage of rich people is only so much, like only 1% of the people in whole of world are rich, ठीक है ना? Only 1% have made it in their lives, only 1% have made it to the elite club, as I would like to say it, ठीक है ना? And
Mhm.
that beckons the question कि is it something that the rest of the people are doing wrong, या फिर is it something कि the those who made it, that they are doing drastically different, right? So my question to you is, what are they doing differently?
So it's not really rocket science or a secret formula. The rich simply form simple, wise habits and they stick to it diligently. I
Okay.
mean, as they say, you will get what you sow.
Yeah, yeah.
So, similarly, the rich have this simple notion set in their mindset and they model their lives accordingly. Every day, millionaires spend most of their lives sacrificing, temporary pleasures for long term success. But
Hmm.
they have also, like, they have no problem in buying a old used car. Like, how many of us are going to buy an old car compared to
Not
a new
me.
one?
Surprisingly, not me.
That's a fact. Like you got to realize it
It is the
someday or the other.
traditional Indian mentality. Why would
Yeah.
you go and buy the
So
second-hand
maybe
car when
living
you
in a
can,
modest
why
neighborhood.
won't you just
Or,
buy brand new, shiny,
exactly,
shiny
exactly.
car?
I mean, how many times have you seen Bill Gates wearing a expensive Armani suit or something?
Yeah, that's not how I've I've seen him. Actually, I've not seen him, but yeah, I get.
So yeah, all this is part of a technical concept known as delayed gratification. I mean, it's not really that technical, but
Okay, so can you
generally this works.
explain to our audience what delayed gratification is?
So, as you might get a hint from the name of the concept, delayed gratification,
Mm-hmm.
decisions like these, which I just talked about, these allow the rich to save for things like retirement, or maybe college, or build up a large down payment for their home or something like that. And they realize that while instant gratification is fun, but delayed gratification is so much better.
All right. So
Today's sacrifices,
basically, you are sacrificing something today so that you win in the
exactly.
long term, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And this is
Mm.
where most of us, probably even 99% of the people lack badly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we all understand this concept, but we don't tell ourselves, you have to follow this. It's good for
Yeah,
you. It's just like one of those things that you know it's good for you, but you won't do it.
because you're too lazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
get up and do something about it. So, to help you guys understand this a bit better, let's have a look at some practical examples. Let's suppose you want to buy your dream car, okay?
Okay,
Which
I
one
want
would
to
it
buy
be, by the
my
way?
dream car. That is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one would it be, by the way?
It's going to be the new 911. Like, no question about it. It's like one of the fastest cars around. Like, just listen to that car, going down the speedway or something. I don't know. Just you know what the 911 is. So, you know.
I get it, I get it. But let's not get off topic here. Maybe a convo for another day. So, Karan here wants to buy his Porsche. He starts saving up for the hefty down payment. After a year of saving almost every penny that he could, he somehow manages to secure the minimum amount for the down payment.
Okay, so I am
And
able to. So
yeah,
that's very generous of you that I am able to secure 20% of a 2.5 crore car. That is like, how much is 20% of a 2.5 crore car? I think 50 lakhs. That is
I
very
mean, I don't even want to guess, man.
generous. Thank you.
Let's,
Like,
let's
I
let's
feel
go
better
with it.
about myself now.
Yeah, it's a dream, bro. Let's go with it. So now he's all excited. Karan is all excited for buying his 911.
Heck yeah, I am excited.
But little does he know that securing the down payment by saving up aggressively doesn't mean you can now go ahead and just jump into the purchase,
Hmm.
Because you see, with this thought process, Karan only thought about the money he has saved up today, and he's eager to go ahead and spend it all on his car.
Hmm.
But the reality is, like, securing 20% of the amount doesn't mean you can now afford it. Like, it doesn't even come close to being able to afford something you
Yeah,
want.
at the end of the day, 20% is going to be 20% only. Na? You'll still have to
Yeah, I mean,
manage to pay that 80%.
yeah, and that too with interest, buddy.
Ah,
And if you get a longer term loan,
yeah,
you're
life
better off
sucks.
giving your keys to your bank only. Like,
Yeah.
you might as well do
You're
that.
basically telling them, ये लो मेरे घर की चाबी, ये लो मेरी गाड़ी, तुम ही चलाओ, तुम ही मजे करो, मैं तो बस,
Exactly,
मैं
exactly.
क्यों आया
I
यहाँ
mean,
पे?
how can you even think of buying something you can only afford, a quarter of or maybe a fifth of?
Yeah,
And with the lending system we have today, it's very, very easy to look past this fact.
it
And
is.
yeah, and it does not end there. Like, you got to add running costs to your monthly budget as well, and then becomes a real big headache.
अरे यार,
So,
I am thinking the running cost on a Porsche, like, it's not going.
good luck servicing that thing, man. Good
Yeah,
luck. Okay. So, and these facts will never change. Like, the big loan will slowly eat into your financial independence, and you will have basically have to sacrifice on the smaller things you, maybe even your needs for the daily life want. Like,
yeah.
maybe.
I'd like to add to that. I think with the
Mhm,
just
go
like
ahead.
you said, like with the lending system we have, it's very easy these days to like get a loan.
Mhm,
Like it's become more easier than it used to be, and the perception of the newer generation has also changed. Like if you talk to your grandparents or someone like a generation before your parents, okay,
mhm.
they will tell you ki they'll save up for the whole amount. Like taking
Yeah,
loan for them was a big no-no. कि यार कर्जा थोड़ी
yeah,
लेंगे, right? And I think that was the correct way of doing things. Now, like in a way, loans have been liberalized, so it's easier to access for anyone. Like if today I want to get a loan, na, I can like literally download an app. It will tell me my score and बैंक अकाउंट में पैसा आ गया छट करे, ठीक है. एंड लाइक
Mhm.
जो ईज ऑफ एक्सेस हो गई है ना पैसे की, so like
Exactly,
don't
exactly.
understand कि अभी तो मिल गया पैसा. Like this example very like now I'm understanding your example. It's like so beautifully telling delayed gratification कि तुमने अभी लोन ले लिया और अभी खरीद ली, बट उसके बाद अपने 5 साल 10 साल घिसोगे खुद को तुम, क्योंकि तुमसे वो लोन किया जा रहा. So yeah, guys, don't buy a car with just 20% of the money. Save some more, please.
And there's also saying, like, if you want to rob someone, get a gun. But if you want to rob everyone, open a
Yeah,
bank.
yeah. So bank will rob you. That is what he meant. The bank will rob you. The bank will rob your life. So stay away.
So, Karan Arora, what will it be? Your Porsche or your peace of mind, buddy?
It's going to be a peace of mind, not a Porsche. I'll buy the Porsche like 5 years later down the line because I'll be able to afford it now. So, and I'll be able to run it. I'll be able to enjoy that luxury that I've worked so hard towards. है ना? और ऊपर से मैंने
Exactly.
ज्यादा वेट किया होगा तो it will be more enjoyable. It will be more rewarding to me as well. So the uh, what is that? वो जो खुशी से
The
निकले,
driving
so that
experience.
dopamine release would be also more,
Yeah.
है ना? So like everything will be more rewarding. So why not do that instead?
चलो इसे एक और एग्जांपल से देखते हैं. ठीक है.
ठीक है.
So, you want to buy that 4K TV of yours for that epic 4K quality. तो
Yes.
स्टोर पे जाते हैं भाई. ठीक है. You have your mind blown away by the quality.
Hmm.
So you pick one, finalize one कि हाँ ये अच्छा लग रहा है. Let's go to the manager, or as in today's case, add it to your cart online directly, and then you look at that hefty price tag. फिर दिमाग में आता है कि भाई मैं अफोर्ड तो कर सकता हूँ ना.
Yeah.
बट देन गो लाइक कि भाई भर दूंगा यार क्रेडिट कार्ड बिल. सेल में थोड़ी मिलेगा ऐसा टीवी.
ऐसे ही तो पकड़ते हैं वो
So
हमें सेल सेल.
so you go ahead and order it with your credit card.
Okay.
So what basically happens here is to satisfy your temporary hunger, let's say, you decide to tie your hands up financially for the next few months or maybe even a year.
Correct.
Whereas you could have easily waited, for a few more months and be able to be, pay for the same TV in full. I mean, obviously, you might not get the exact same TV, but after waiting for those months, but you get the point.
Hmm. समझ गया.
And you guys might feel this like all this is over dramatizing things, but trust me, when there's no money left, you can't borrow more, and there's creditors are upon your ass asking for money.
पैसा दे,
Because
पैसा निकाल मेरा,
exactly,
वसूल
and
करना
like
है
no
अपने
one's
को.
gonna come, no one's gonna come and help you with that. Trust me.
Yeah.
So then you would realize like क्या कर दिया है यार. टीवी बाद
Hmm.
में चाहे भाई किस्त चली
गलत
जाए
है
पहले,
ये टीवी लाना ही नहीं
वो तब फोड़ने का मन करेगा उसे. So yeah, exactly, this is what happens with most of the people.
चाहिए. It's more than just about the money. It will
Especially
like,
in this new age generation we are living in.
and that like we are a part of this new age
Exactly.
generation. But the only difference between you guys and us are we are trying to make a difference. Okay, so understand.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I don't buy things or anything like that. Yeah, I do. I do have
But
wishes
yeah,
and
there
all,
is
but
conscience somewhere in us that is telling us, ki, you know what? It's better if you wait. And sometimes
yeah,
we are able to hear वो अंदर वाली आवाज को.
exactly. Just think twice. Like एक बार और सोच ले यार कि भाई सही में
Hmm.
चाहिए क्या.
Yeah.
वही exactly
Most of
that's
the
what.
time सही में नहीं चाहिए होता कुछ भी.
हाँ. So
So for I think that was a great example, Devansh.
thanks.
मतलब you told them how you can get a great TV and then watch your life go to shit. So yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
अच्छा, तो for all our listeners who are here to, become rich, let's get one thing clear. There is no get rich quick scheme in the world.
Oh
And
no.
जो भी ये गेट रिच क्विक स्कीम 10 बार बोल के दिखाएगा उसको चॉकलेट. ठीक है, क्योंकि दिस इज टंग ट्विस्टर. एंड इफ एनीवन टेल्स यू अदरवाइज, like if anyone tells you कि there is a get rich quick, yeah, I'll make you money and all, you just turn around and run as fast as you can in the opposite direction, run away from those people because they are after your money and nothing else. ठीक है ना? So always keep this in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also keep this one thing also, another thing in mind, कि those people who are rich today did not become rich in a night. Like I've said this like अभी थोड़ी देर पहले, but I'm repeating it कि ये overnight success नहीं है. It's a process, it's a journey. ठीक है? You you won't make it to that elite club that we just mentioned just like it. मतलब आज मेहनत
Hmm.
करी और एक
No
हफ्ते
one
बाद
does.
पहुंच गए. नहीं होता. Like the people who have made it, it took them years, and उनको
Yeah.
पता भी नहीं था कि यार ऐसा कुछ होगा भी या नहीं होगा. Like मतलब कोई उसका like certainty नहीं थी, ठीक है. But they just kept at it. They kept their
Yeah.
mind focused. So it is important to acknowledge the fact that becoming rich is not easy as well, and that is why not everyone is able to make it ना. Because अगर easy होता तो सभी बस अंबानी हो रहे होते, पर ऐसा नहीं. तो the
सही बात.
choice of becoming rich is given to all. Like सबके पास वो choice है, पर बनेंगे कितने? Only a few. Only a few who are able to break through. ये तो rap बन गया यार. Only a few who are able to break through. Yeah. So
Oh.
I'll quote a quote from the Bible, and like उसमें वो कहते हैं, a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. तो वो क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं कि if you don't, slack hand क्या होता है? If you don't put enough thought into things, if you don't reconsider, review your choices and your work, it's going to cause poverty. With the hand of the diligent, जो बंदा अपने thoughts को लगातार सोचता है, puts a lot of work behind the actions they're taking, yeah, puts a lot of thought behind the actions, it's going to make them rich. Ultimately, that is the direction you're going in. So a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. जब ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये बाइबल में लिखा है. जो करना है करो.
हैरानी होती देख के, लाइक बाइबल में भी ऐसी चीजें.
Hmm.
Never thought I'd see that, but interesting, definitely.
Yeah.
This reminds me of one thing. We all mentioned that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki
Uh-huh,
in
uh-huh,
the last episode.
uh-huh.
So since then, we also received a couple of questions from you guys regarding why were we so fixated on that particular book.
Mm.
And to be clear with you guys, we are not sponsored by anyone. I mean, not by anyone. Like we would love to have one on board.
We are
Please
not
sponsor us
making any
if you want.
money. That is what we're trying to tell you. So share this podcast with your friends so that we start making some money, okay?
Please.
And if anyone
So
wants to sponsor us, sorry, Devansh, I'm like cutting you off, but if anyone wants to sponsor us, hit us up at contact@fintop.in. Thank you.
no issues. Just a slight plug there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we basically talked about it, like, because the book really resonates with all of us.
Yeah, it does.
The author Robert Kiyosaki talked about values of financial intelligence, which we believe, at least, that everyone should know about. Genuinely, everyone should know about. For example, I talked about that Robert says, you should always pay yourself first. But then why should you pay yourself first? Why? Why क्यों करूँ मैं? So the reason for that is कि no matter how much money you owe someone else, like maybe 100 grand or something, and you spend all of your income on paying those guys, like your loan EMIs, your credit card bills, or
Mm.
whatever money you owe someone, your neighbor maybe, but then you'll have no money to left to invest in yourself. Like, and by investing yourself, we mean like investing your money in assets. Because those are the things that really are going to generate money for you in the future. Nothing else matters.
Mm.
You
I
know,
think investing
investing
in
in
yourself,
yourself first.
is like one of those, you know,
Exactly,
golden rule
exactly.
things कि आप miss कर ही नहीं सकते. Like you
Yeah.
have to do that. अच्छा बाकी सब तो ठीक है. Who is taking money from the neighbors anymore? Huh? What kind of neighbors are giving money now?
I don't know, यार कहीं होता होगा गाँव में. I
चलो ठीक है ठीक
so I mean, Warren Buffett did not become Warren Buffett by paying someone else first, or like going to pay his loan EMIs first.
है. And
All these guys, like,
even took a loan यार.
all these guys, what they do is like they invest in assets, and assets are the ones that are gonna generate money for you properly, apart from your salary or something.
Investing in assets, and by assets we don't mean buying a car. For those of you
Yeah,
who think यार accounts में तो हम कार को एसेट कॉलम में ले जाते थे
uh,
भाई वो सिर्फ अकाउंट्स में होता है इन
that's,
रियल लाइफ
that's a,
अंडरस्टैंड दैट अ कार इज अ डेप्रिशिएटिंग एसेट एंड इट इज गोइंग टू कॉस्ट यू मनी हमने ये
exactly,
अभी
exactly.
बोला है अगर तुम्हारी रिटेंशन पावर इतनी कम है तो जरा पीछे करो पॉडकास्ट को और फिर से सुन लो सो
There's a very thin line between a asset and a liability, what you call an asset and what really is an asset for you.
yeah, so like
So
assets are of different types. Now, one is an appreciating asset, and what is a depreciating
exactly,
asset?
exactly.
An appreciating asset would be stocks, mutual funds, uh, you know, corporate bonds, stuff like that, like debt funds and all that. But a depreciating asset is like your car, your scooty, your bike, okay, your house in some cases. If you're just living in your house, it is not an appreciating asset, at least for the next 10 years. ठीक
Not
है
at all, not at all.
once you're past that 10 year threshold then it might appreciate but ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि आज लिया और एक हफ्ते बाद या 2 महीने बाद appreciate हो गया that's not how real estate works especially when today real estate is not doing all
Mm.
that well right so yeah that was my
And
TED talk
this,
guys thank you you can continue from here
yeah, and this was something that really stuck with my mind. Like always paying yourself first. This is one of the things. Like I hope I'll follow for the rest of my life. So, what were the learnings that you took, Karan, personally from the book? What were your favorite findings? Let's say.
so my favorite finding let's say so
Mm-hmm.
I read in that book कि there is a difference in the mindset of spending. So let me explain that a little better. What happens is the author talks about people in like he's like categorizes people in like two classes, middle class and like rich people. Okay, so what he tells is the middle class, what they are doing is they're spending right out of their income. So their salary comes, they spend, they exhaust it, game over. Next month again salary comes, they spend, they exhaust it, game over. Again salary comes, and it's just a vicious cycle. They're not growing out of it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what the rich are doing, salary comes, yeah, फिर जो भी है, whatever the business or the salary. I'm not saying कि business people are rich or anything. Even a salaried person can be rich, provided the spending habits are correct. So the
Exactly.
I'll just take the salary example again. Ki salary comes for the this is for the rich person. Okay, so the rich person this is what they would do. So salary comes, they invest first. Okay, they invest in assets. Okay, so they have in their balance sheet their asset column is strong. Then after some time, their asset column starts generating passive income. Now what is happening is income comes, they invest, and now their investments are generating further income. So there is an increase in income. And that further income, that passive income I just talked about, is enough to take care of their expenses. So in theory, like if you like look at this flow chart, what's happening is कि income आया आपने asset में डाला and वो diminish नहीं हुआ like in the case of the middle class people या फिर in the case of general people वो income आता है और चला जाता है like it's not building up
But
to something right but in like in the case of rich how the rich like it's all in the thinking ना like you don't have to spend it you have to invest it that's a thinking like वो अपने आप नहीं होगा वो mindset बनाना पड़ेगा that is why I told कि it's a mindset that I've learned कि you invest in assets and then you wait for those assets to generate money for them so that you can spend it on luxuries and all so this way there is this like you are not exhausting this it's not a vicious circle but it's a snowball so
exactly.
however many times you get your salary and you invest the snowball rolls down the hill and it becomes bigger and by the time you are at the bottom of the hill the size is so big that like it's ginormous. So that is what I've, taken with me from that book. And I think everyone should. And that is why we talked so much about that book. Go read it, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why we named this episode. Start thinking like the rich,
Yeah.
please. And we recommend reading it, like because that was one big stepping stone in our investing personally, and we feel it might be the same for you as well. So I guess that's all for the episode one. And to round up, we lastly talked about how the rich think and how you should start applying those same principles of delayed gratification in your daily lives as well. And we'll be back soon with another episode, and this time we will be talking about how you should be treating your money. Till then, subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever we upload our latest episode. So, and also you can follow us on other major podcast streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other favorite streaming platform of yours. And if you're watching on IGTV, follow our page right now. Yeah, see you in the next one. Ciao.